I had Frank and Janine.
What's your cat's name?
Pootie Tang.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Live.
One of them is.
Good morning and welcome to Unwanted Opinions. I'm your host, Justin MacDonald. Joined here.
I'm back.
Every time.
I didn't even touch it.
You threw your phone down.
I told you this was going to be a learning experience to try not to touch the table.
Shake it. Shake it. Shake it. But
Ooh.
don't break it.
I'm trying not to.
All right, co-host Fischer, fact checker Jesse James. Guys, get it together.
We showed up so early, and yet we're such a mess right now.
Executive producer Dave Miller, and our special guest on the couch today, RJ Jenkins. Thank you for joining us.
Whoop.
Nice to be here.
Nice to be here. Is it though? That's a nice thing to say. That's just like those things that you just say.
He's going to be our most polite guest.
Yeah.
Guys, if we could hurry this up, that'd be great.
I'd like for you to shame Matt every time he bangs on the table and causes static on the mic.
We will.
He says he can't not do it.
I can't not. You tell me not to talk with my hands.
No, I said talk with your hands over here. Bang on things over here, not on the table.
It's in front of me, though.
But
No.
change
And
your
how do
position.
I suppose? Yeah, okay. You guys are. That's an impossible ask.
Yep, it's an impossible ask.
It
It can only be the way that's the easiest for him, is what he's saying.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes.
Your poor wife. Good morning. Happy Friday. Broadcasting live out of the Workspace Collective. One of these days,
You are salty and spicy this morning.
I'm going to be able to get through an entire introduction without being interrupted. One of them. All right. First on the board, let's go with Gambler Recap. So I got chastised so much this year because they're like, you didn't do a lot of posts leading up to the Gambler. How are we supposed to?
You didn't?
Yeah.
I was expecting them.
We didn't do a lot of work leading up to the Gambler this year.
This was, I think, the year that we did the least prep work.
Yes.
And I think it was probably one of the years we were some of the most hard on the cars,
Yes.
especially the Barbie Bronco.
Well, so a lot of people, I get this question a lot, and I try not to be a jerk when I answer, but they go, "Did you win the race?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's not really a race. It's you just drive around off road."
So people have a hard time grasping that, though, because they ask me, too, did you do all 500 miles? And I'm like,
Right.
buddy, I don't even know if we hit a single checkpoint.
Yeah, we did. So
Make your own. But I explained to them, I'm like, no. And they're like, well, then did you win? Like what you said. And it was like, no. And they're like, well, what is it? What are you supposed to do? And I was just like, we're just driving in the woods in a real crappy car, man. Like,
Yep. So what happens is in the morning you get waypoints, and they're all GPS. And if you're not used to the off-road system, and I think this is what trips a lot of people out, is if you're not used to the off-road system, it's not like take a left on 40, take a right on 36.
oh, there's no turn by turn.
And you're there.
Yeah.
It's you have a waypoint in the middle of something, and there's 347 different variations of how you can get there. Whether you choose to take a right or a left, at a split, or keep going straight, or whatever it may be.
Or bomb that giant lake-sized mud hole.
Right. So it's you can end up in the same waypoint, but not have passed another soul to get there. And there's still people at that waypoint because they just chose a different route. So, and once you hit that waypoint, you go, all right, here on our system, we've hit this waypoint. You can take pictures. You can, say that you're there via GPS, but no one really cares. Like, you're just out there to be off-road.
Well, they do give awards for stuff. So there are the people out there that are like hitting all the points, you know, and they're definitely marking it off, and they're going to try and be like a completionist with all the points. And there's people that are going just purely for amount of garbage pulled in, like that could be their takeaway. And then the people who are just like, I'm just out there to recover folks. So everyone kind of finds their own niche. I think our niche has always been like,
we're here to make sure you have fun.
Go as hard in the paint with the cars as you can, but while also trying not to have them like have absolute massive critical failures.
Yeah.
Which hasn't really happened yet.
No, not yet. We've had massive critical failures.
It's amazing what you can put a car through. Like, I've learned that. Like, the amount of work that we've done on these things, like, and we're no mechanics or fabricators by any means, but the amount of abuse they've taken and shady repairs we've done to them, and somehow they're still, I'm pretty sure the Barbie Mustang was running on, 3 cylinders by the time we were done?
It seemed to be 3 cylinders.
We thought it was
on
dead.
the left, 2 on the right.
We thought it was dead and, left it. And then came back for it and still managed to drive it out of Rich Loam 40-something minutes back to camp
and then went four-wheeling at camp that night with it. And
Yeah, pretty
it had
pretty
one
aggressive
we lost the
four-wheeling.
headlight somewhere, and that is what left it stranded because that headlight was like a straight shot into the air cleaner, and then we were going through Richland, which is basically green swamp, and so it sucked a bunch of water in, and it already had a bunch of leaks. And
Right.
I look back at the video I took, and I was very terrified of driving as fast as we were off-road with other people on the course where you could only see about 5 feet in front of you.
Yeah, that was a bold decision that we made. Paid off this time, but...
So who did win?
So you have multiple
The
different
Forests won.
Yeah, the Forest won because they got all the trash pulled out.
7 tons this year.
After you guys left. That's
No,
insane.
we pulled out
7
trash
tons
too.
isn't even I think the first year was 4, the second year it was 12 tons.
It was 12
then it was
tons,
8
yeah.
tons, and then 7 tons.
Yeah.
So it's always
That's wild.
it's been around that, and that's a lot of garbage. That's what 14,000 pounds worth of garbage that we pulled out of the Withlacoochee State Forest.
Oh, math major.
Good
over
job.
Yeah.
Good job.
We're
7
proud of
times
you.
Those
Yeah.
the lake's coming. I like it.
14,000. Nice. I will say this. We won an award last year, but didn't know until this year. Which was the Gambler Spirit Award.
And it was a sword.
It was a sword
Nice.
made of birdhouse trucks, which is pretty
No
cool.
one knows what that is. It was made of cars?
They're made of like of skateboard
Trucks.
pieces.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, which is pretty cool. Yes, it was a sword, and it was pretty awesome. I think that's because we, just drive around handing out Natter Days and T-shirts, blaring,
We gave someone a car.
Aqua Barbie Girl. Yeah, we gave someone a car, Cherokee. It was a Cherokee that we bought, and the night of the first Gambler, the transmission just went out, and we're dropping sawdust and Lucas oil in there to try to get it to grip, keep it going.
Miracles in a bottle.
And we did the whole event with no reverse, no neutral, nothing like that. And then the following year, this guy got T-boned, and it was his daily driver. I didn't know that until this year,
It's
actually.
his daily driver and his gambler,
Yeah.
which is a very risky maneuver.
Yes.
To be like, I'm going to take my sole mode of transportation out on this absolute wild off-road
Yeah.
rally adventure.
Yeah, it sounds like a smart move.
So we give him
It's
this.
not.
Yeah, we give him this Cherokee, and as we're loading everything up, I don't even know how it came about. He said something.
he was loading it, and he came over to where we were working, and our
Oh,
cars,
that's
were,
what
and
it
our cars
was.
were in the barn.
Yeah.
And that's when he made the connect. He goes, "Oh my gosh, you guys are the Convertiboys." And we're like, "Yep,
Yeah.
that's our team name because we only drive convertibles."
Oh,
So
good one.
So he knew that because we had given him a shirt, I guess, that was like a small or something, and his daughter absolutely loves the shirt. Like, wears it to bed all the time. So like he's gotten a Convertiboy shirt every year. So anyway, that was kind of fun. So he gets the truck. He's there. This is his second year that
Yes.
he's been out there. He's somehow made this thing nicer.
yeah, that's the gambler spirit, though. I mean, that's the fun thing about it is, show up to the event, check it out. If you like it, get yourself a car the next year and do it. But everyone's super friendly and super helpful and out there to have a good time. When your sole rule, like literally the only rule is don't be a dick, like it's going to be a good time because everyone is very nice and very helpful. And like I said, it's just a great time.
Yeah.
Can't speak highly enough about it.
Yeah, it really every year when it comes to like work time, I'm like, man, this is a lot of time to invest to do this. Granted, not this year, but then when I'm done, I'm like, man, I needed that in my life. I needed to just get out and hang out with crazy people doing fun stuff. And so yeah, I'm grateful for it. Thank you, Chris and Darla Hayes. This is their last year doing it. I think Ernie is taking over.
Yep.
So Ernie's the enforcer of the camp. He has got no problem if you don't like him in the moment, but if you're doing something he asks you not to do, he's nice the first time.
Yeah. I don't know how much enforcing he has to do. I don't know. Maybe he has to do a lot.
I mean, he enforced us this past time. He's had to tell us
that's
something
right.
every single
That's
year.
right.
That tracks.
We're them.
But this the first time. Yeah.
I forgot.
I don't think he asked you. Yep, no, it's definitely us.
My bad.
Yeah, we may have gone somewhere we shouldn't have gone, but that's fine. He just goes, look, that's your first chance. Your first chance is on me, basically. Second time I got to tell you, I'm going to be a little bit meaner.
Fool me
about it.
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, won't fool me again.
Literally every year. So this year we pull in, he goes, hey guys, There's more kids this year than expected. Did he tell you this?
No.
Were you in the car? There's more kids this year than expected. I know you guys like, riding around on the back of the convertible.
Parade laps.
Yeah, we do parade laps. We have a parade bonnet, so we're going to do parade laps. So just be a little bit, cautious, drive a little bit slower this year. I'm like, all right, yeah. Easy enough, can do. And, when someone approaches you that way.
It says don't run over children.
Right,
You have to listen to them.
reasonably, it's easy to...
It would really be beneficial to listen
right,
to them.
it's easy to comply when someone's just talking to you reasonably.
Be a terrible way to
Speaking
get the gambler on
of
headlines.
talking to you reasonably. That's a wonderful segue.
Yeah, you
I
caught that.
want to hear about your near-death experience that you've recently had delivering a car dolly back to your grandmother's house after the game.
So my family, we have a house that's been empty for about, 15 years. And about once a month, I drive by, make sure everything's okay, make sure there's no, new busted out windows or anything like that. And as I'm driving by, I drop off this dolly, and I see that some of the cans up front are moved, some of the stuff that was in the utility room was out. And so I stop, and I'm like, I'm just going to check this thing out. And I don't know how long I'm there, not very long. I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. I mean, just, I walk the perimeter first, just like you would, just, like I do
Like you're
at my
casing the
office.
joint.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear this part earlier, so now I'm like...
But
knowing
I'm
what's
picking-
coming,
I'm-
I'm like, all right, man, you're not painting the best picture.
I'm picking up trash, like stuff that's normal stuff to do. Like,
I'm
all
wearing
right,
all black.
Yeah.
I got a mask on.
let me before you ruin the
I think most
twist
people know
here.
what's happening.
It's 3 p.m. on a Sunday. It's bright and sunny out. My nice family SUV is parked out front. So I'm locking back up, and I see
That matters.
the first. It does. It was. I wasn't in the Gambler.
Humble brag.
No, I'm just saying. Like, think about the vehicle that's there at 3 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, they would have
afternoon.
seen that gambler. They said, I don't want a piece of that.
Yeah.
Whoever drives that's a lunatic.
Let me get to it. So I see the first cop car flying down this private residential road. Lights on, no sirens, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. I wonder what's going on. Hope everything's okay. I literally nod at the guy like, good luck on whatever you're about to do. And then I see the second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, however many it was. It's definitely at least 5. And I'm like, oh, they're coming here. And so I have a couple things that I had picked up on the ground. One of them's a screwdriver. And then a couple pieces of trash and stuff. And so they start running up. And they're like, how many are in the house? Put the weapon down. I'm like, whoa. And I've got my hands up already. And I'm literally holding it just like this.
Ready
Again,
to stab.
Couple pieces of trash.
Jeez.
Right. Listen, you're already getting it. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not walking over there with this thing. I know that could be construed as a weapon, so I put it down, and they're like, "Yo, hey, we didn't tell you to duck down." And I'm like, "Guys, it's fine."
Jeez.
And so they're like, "Walk over here." So I start to walk over.
Backwards,
Slow
on your
down.
hands.
Guns are drawn, by the way. There's 8 cops. Only about 4 of them have their guns drawn. Right?
What were the other 4 doing?
I don't know, arms crossed, checking the place out. So, and honestly, at this point, I'm going to forget a lot of the minor details. But essentially, I've got a 45 pointed at my chest and one at my face. It's not feeling great right now. And I'm like, I'm allowed to be here. This is my family's house. And so all right, let's see your ID. So I go to reach for my ID, and they're like, whoa, slow down. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's in my right front pocket. Can I reach for my ID? So we're doing all of this, and I'm like, hey, can you guys lower the weapons? And you would have thought that I told them I had a bomb on me or something. Because it's just no, are you crazy? And I'm like, I'm sorry, not a big fan of having a loaded 45 in my chest. I'm working with you right now. There's 8 of you. Why did we go right to lethal force? I just don't understand. Obviously, they didn't use lethal force, but you've got a baton, you've got mace, you've got the stun gun, tasers, whatever. Why not go to one of those first for what you think might be a breaking and entering in the middle of the day? On a known empty house.
It's not, yeah, and then, the neighborhood too, that part of town. That's when you told me that. I was just trying to think of what crime did they think you were doing that warranted,
right?
All the guns. But at the same time, I was thinking of you in that situation of going, they're trying to get you to listen to and comply to very specific instructions. Right. while I'm speaking for you right now, but like you or anyone else in that situation is like you're flustered because you have guns drawn on you. I can't imagine how hard it would be to comprehend even the simplest of tasks at time because you're just thinking of like, oh my God, there's a gun on me.
Right.
You know, so it's just like, that's a tough situation to be in.
I feel pretty confident in that situation, right? Which I think is sometimes can be unsettling for cops as well, right? So I've dealt with a couple of like break-ins at the office where one of the questions is like, why are you so calm? And I'm like, do you want me freaking out right now? Like, I don't understand what is the goal here? What are you expecting from me? Yeah. So I think part of that can be unsettling, but I'm like, I think about anyone else that may not be like, my wife were there, so, you know, like just someone else that I know that may not be good with a gun pointed at them, like absolutely breaking down, you know, it's just a weird situation. So all of this is going on. And again, they're trying to baffle with BS, like, shouting commands while also shouting at me for following the commands. And then, you know, he asked me who owns the house. I tell him very specifically who owns the house. And he goes, yeah, but whose name is on the paper for owning the house? And I'm like, they are. And he goes,
are you checking this information?
Right. So I go, they are. And he goes, I don't know you, bro. I don't know your life. I don't know who they is. And I'm like, literally the people I just told you. Like, I just, you know. So it's all just, it's very, I think it's intended to, you know, again, overwhelm and confuse. And here's the thing is, I understand cops have a very hard job. Like, I'm not taking that away. I understand that you probably almost have to assume everyone's armed, everyone's a criminal, all of that. But I got to tell you, from a citizen's perspective, like, again, and unfortunately, I'm processing this pretty quickly and going, all right, I'm not going to walk up with a screwdriver. I'm not going to, like, run away like I once did a couple years ago because I was just frightened at first, you know. So I'm processing all of this where, you know, some people may not have that advantage or, you know, to be able to stay calm or whatever. But there's just such a better way of handling that. Like, if you would have just walked up and been like, hey, man, what's going on here? Like, oh, yeah, a neighbor called and said you used a crowbar to get in. Like, okay, there's no crowbar here. Obviously, you know, here's the deal, blah, 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 blah. It just could have been handled so much differently. And I'm not saying that, oh, you should be nice to everyone you encounter all of the time. But use the tools that you have and the context given to make a decision that doesn't make some, like, normal, you know, law-abiding citizen have a little bit of disdain for you.
Yeah.
A lot of that, I think, has to come with, like, you're right. I'm not discrediting the stressfulness of being a police officer, because it is. They got a lot that they have to do. You know, like, they wear many hats because they do, like, such a wide variety of stuff. You know, and I think, like, they can, like, narrow that down and have them focus on, you know, actual policing and not some of the other things.
Right.
But at the same time, I think, like, I don't know if it's the media or just society in general has, like, I think help inflated this, like, whole, like, everyone's out to kill you. Every citizen could be a potential cop killer, and you need assault rifles and tanks and all this other stuff. And then they approach every situation like a war zone. Like, like you're right. Like, if it would have just been like, hey, man, we got this weird call. What's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, that would
But
have
there's
different.
8 of you. Like, what do you need a gun for? I've seen the videos. You could beat me up. Like,
You can take at least 2 of them, I'm sure, before they finally, like...
Only if they're built like giraffes.
This guy could take a giraffe.
He could not take a giraffe.
He could take a giraffe on a date.
I'll give a shout out to the cops there that shook my hand afterward and said, hey, we're sorry. One of the things they said is like, well, you know, you said it yourself that there's been break-ins here, so you can understand us being here. And I'm like, did you get any of those guys? Like, no, you got me. Like, but, you know, they did their best to bring the situation around. And I get, again, they're in a stressful situation. But as I'm telling this story at work, and I'm like, yeah, and then I tell like 5 more stories that I have in the past like 3 to 5 years, and I'm like, man, I have a lot of interactions with cops.
Yeah.
For someone that's not really breaking the law.
It's the way you look
I don't think that's it, but
and act.
Looks like a cop.
it's definitely the way I act. Though the biggest one to me is when I found that cop's phone. I didn't know he's a cop.
First mistake.
Right. I find this phone.
How dare you?
I'm running on 36.
Shoot
I find
him.
this phone, and I see it has like 10 missed calls. So I just hit that number, and the guy picks up and he's like, "Yeah, what are you doing with my phone?" I'm like, "Yeah, chill. I just found this on 36. I'm running." He's like, all right, where are you? I'm like, I'm in front of Jervy Gant. I'll meet you. It's nighttime. I'm like, I'll meet you at
He says, pull up.
Yeah. I'll
He's
meet
like,
you.
what are you running from?
Right. Well, hold on. Yeah. We get there. I said, I'll meet you at the gas station right near Jerry Gant, right? So I'm running up there. Cop car, again, I don't know that this is a cop's phone at this moment. Cop car cuts all the way across 36, jumps the curb and cuts me off. And in my mind, I wasn't thinking, I didn't have that ability to process quick enough. And I just went, I need to run. So I run and I start to jump the Crestwood Village's wall. And then I'm like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I get down and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, you have my phone? And I was like, oh. And he's like, why were you running? And I was like,
why are you pulling up with your sirens on?
Because I just stole this phone.
Right, yeah. So it's just like this weird, standoff for like a minute and a half. And eventually he was like, all right, figures out that I didn't randomly steal his phone. I'm like, it's all scratched up. You left it on the hood of your car or something. I don't know. And it was a brand new phone at the time too. But
it was before you got it.
Yeah. I won't tell the...
Being a bad child and getting into lots of trouble, it's like... The whole run from the cops thing is just as an adult, it's kind of like a second nature. You just no, you're not doing anything wrong. Don't run.
Right.
They're not here for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to just leave this situation.
Especially that specific wall and that specific.
Yeah, you were definitely in our old childhood neighborhood where lots of the shenanigans were going on.
Yeah, mischief, nothing like crazy.
Mischief, yeah. But still.
I thought I had to run from the cops as a kid because I had firecrackers on me.
It's funny when you become an adult. You're like, yeah, none of that stuff was and then to realize that you were minor, so it's not like you'd really be facing anything serious. It's just it's like firecrackers and just doing kids stuff. But at the time, you're like, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
If they catch me, but they won't catch me.
Bingo.
I'm going to run into a cave.
Anyway, that was my exciting end to the Gambler weekend. And I've processed it a lot. Someone was like, hey, you should file a complaint. And I'm like, to the people who did that to me?
Now you're just being on the watch list and it's just going to happen even more.
Oh, who knows? I again, shout out to the cops that kept it as calm as they could and stayed and talked to me a little bit afterward. I appreciated that. And we need more of that out there. I'm grateful to know a bunch of level-headed cops, and I hope that they stay in the profession because you're right. I think that there's just this inflamed war going on, and you choose the side that you're on.
Well, if you project something for so long, it's only it's like when people start to believe their own lies, But it's like if you keep telling yourself oh, it's so violent and so yada yada yada. It's like I'm not saying that. Bad crimes and situations don't happen. I'm just saying, the majority of the time, it's just normal everyday stuff, and there's a simple story behind it. We don't need to approach everything, on DEFCON 5 or whatever it is, full blown guns drawn, everything.
Fun times.
Anyhow.
So when people say, "Oh, this stuff always happens to you," I'm always like, "Nah." I'm like, "Okay, you know what? Maybe I have a heightened." Aura of chaos around me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't like how much you agreed to that.
I've known you for a very long time. Yeah, you've roped me into it plenty of times. I don't appreciate it.
What's great is growing up is your
I got
mom
arrested
thought
because
of you. You've been not arrested plenty of times because of me too. Okay, so let's just say that.
Fair.
Yeah. Well, it's just a second-degree misdemeanor. It's not the end of the world. You've got a good paying job, a wife, kid. It's fine. It's fine.
I just remember the cop being like, I could take you to jail right now. And I'm like, I would appreciate it that you didn't, considering the circumstances of what you're stopping me for.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So you and I both have gotten a written arrest, but I got off of mine.
Yeah, I tried to get off mine. He threw the book at me.
Yeah, he really did, too.
I forgot you showed up to my court date.
I did.
He was literally like, it's the least I could do. That's what he told me at the time, and now I'm like, you just went for the show.
Oh, I absolutely went for the show.
It was not like a solidarity thing. You're just like, I'm just about to watch him flounder.
He's going to jail.
I almost did because it was a... What is it when they're like, I'm going to suspend your sentence, but you have to hit these markers.
Adjudicated guilty.
Adjudicated guilty. That's what they gave me. And I waited to the absolute last moment.
Yeah.
And I thought I wasn't going to complete one of the things. And I was like, I started coming to terms with I'm going to jail for 90 days. All because of my poor planning and procrastination. Because once I left the courtroom, I'm like, this is done. I'm done. It's all taken care of. And then later down the line, I'm like, oh crap, I have not fulfilled my duty to the court. And I started freaking out.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't, and everything's good. But yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, I got a written arrest for going over 30 miles an hour, and in like Bradford County or something.
I just recently learned if it's over 50, it's a felony.
It may have been closer. Mine was still misdemeanor.
Yeah, I think 30 is a misdemeanor, but I think 50 over is a felony at that point.
It was over 35. I was going. It was October 31st, 2006. I was going to see Guns N' Roses at the now ViStar Arena in Jacksonville.
You don't drive the speed limit to a GNR concert.
Come on, how can you? So I get pulled over, and when I go to court, the judge lets everyone else go into the courtroom, and he calls me and one other dude, and he's like, "I need you to just hang back in my chambers." And I had a written arrest. It wasn't just a regular ticket, which I've taken all my tickets to court. And this other guy, I was like, "Hey man, what's your deal?" And he's like, "Oh man, I got a written arrest." And I was like, "Oh, how's your record look?" He's like, "Oh, I got a bunch of tickets." I was like, "Oh no, me too." Like, we're going to jail, dude. Kind of the same thing. I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to jail." And the judge comes back and he's like, "Hey, I'm so sorry to have wasted your time today. The officer that gave you your ticket didn't deem it important enough to come to court today, so you're free to go." And I was like,
Lucky.
"Are you serious?" Yeah. Gone. Like, you got it. I'm out of here. At the speed limit, sir. Definitely gone. Yeah, it was fun times. Anyway, enough of that. This day in 1947, Jackie Robinson becomes the first black player in the MLB. It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. One of the... And in Florida? No, he was in the Brooklyn... They were the Dodgers then still. Yeah, Brooklyn Dodgers. But he was on the seed team in Florida, which had to have been hard. I'm sure it's hard everywhere.
So.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard everywhere. Anyway, thought that was an interesting little bit of information. Netflix buttons.
What do those numbers mean?
So the skip intro button, when they put that on, it made me so happy.
Revolutionary.
In like 1 year, it's clicked 136 million times, which saves a collective 195 years worth of viewing time. Wow. Isn't that insane?
I will skip every intro except the Peacemaker intro.
Yes, I started skipping the Peacemaker intro. That's on Netflix. That's on.
Yeah, it's on HBO, but still, that one was just so entertaining to me.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to see this.
Yeah,
I will watch the intro to a show once time.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, someone spent a lot of time on this, especially if it's like an HBO show. Someone spent a lot of time on it. I'll watch it. I'll enjoy it for its artistic nature, and after that, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to rehash this 3 minutes every single time.
Right.
When there's like Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones was a show
so
in and of
long,
itself.
Like hour-long show.
Is it the
20
same one
minutes
every
of
single
intro.
time?
Yes.
I think they changed it every season.
They did. I think they did update it every season, and it's extremely well done. Like, it is a cool intro. It's not that it's like crappy or not entertaining, because it is. It is just like, I think it's 5 minutes. Or something like that.
Oh wow.
It's a very in-depth.
How long are the episodes?
Like an hour plus.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so like intro time to show time, it's pretty relative because they were like longer shows, but still, I mean, it's something to sit through.
Once.
The Office still had an intro, but they also did all the cold opens, which were just amazing. It's like just an open that has nothing to do with the rest of the show, but always pretty good.
When they did the video, the song.
Amazing. Which was actual. The video that they use was John Krasinski when he went to just like scout Scranton, like, I want to see what this is about once he got in the position. Okay. He just took a video camera with them, and they're like, "Hey, can we use that footage?" And that's the intro, or part of the intro for The Office. But yeah, 136 million clicks. The engineers in there were like, "Yeah, we've tried other buttons." And they're like, we could put free cupcake and it would never get hit as much as skip intro. It's just such
I'm surprised at how long it took other video players to adopt that, though. Like, my biggest problem with every other video player out there, I was like, can y'all just please copy Netflix? Like, you're making me sit through the intro or you're not just giving me the go to the next episode and watch me sit through the credits. Like, they figured it out very early on. I will give the engineers at Netflix all the credit because I do feel like they kind of changed online streaming to make it much more enjoyable, and everyone's kind of getting on board with those buttons now. But man, it took a while.
They also have the shuffle button now, which is we've talked about before. But like,
I can't let myself succumb to that.
To me, I don't mind it because I'm just a lot of times I just want noise in the background. I don't really care what it is. That's the only reason why I have Sling TV. It's like basic cable essentially. Is I just want to put something on that I don't have to like be involved in. So I don't mind it. What I do hate about Netflix, and they've done it intentionally, is they have a terrible browsing system.
God, it's the worst.
Yeah, terrible.
I feel like they are only
system.
showing you what they think they want you to watch.
Yeah,
not what's out there.
They're absolutely. When they first had online streaming, I could find some of the coolest, old shows, old movies, unique shows, indie movies, stuff like that. Now it's like, hey,
here's our 10 Netflix shows
every
that just
search
came
you
out.
do and every category we do is going to be all related around the stuff that we are pushing, and that just can be frustrating. So Disney Plus actually had they do like a by the decades, which is cool because I just go right to the 90s. Like, this is awesome.
Who was that?
Disney
Oh,
Plus.
yeah, that's the one I don't have.
And we've started shrinking back down.
I got to do that. I got to do one of those things when like just find out who all I'm subscribed to.
Yeah. I during football season, anytime the Cowboys were on some other platform, I ended up with another, subscription. So I had like
I feel like sports fan, like I don't watch
What a
sports,
waste of money.
that is
but I
rude.
feel like sports fans have it tough though because just hearing people talk about like, oh, you want to watch this, you have to get this, and if you want to watch that, you get this, and it doesn't seem like anything's like centralized.
Honestly, it would be easier if I just had cable.
Really?
Yeah, because most of the games are just on cable.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like if we had Sling, and then it's like I'll do Fubo, and then I'll do Peacock, and then I'll do Paramount.
I know a little bit, but just when it comes to sports, I'm like, man, it seems like they cut it up and sprinkled it everywhere, and there's like, I don't know. I feel like cable is like one of like maybe sports is the only thing keeping cable alive still. Is like the only real reason to have it.
I think it's ease of use, honestly. Again, we'll put it on. I will put on a Harry Potter movie on Sling, even though it has commercials and all of that, instead of just going and putting it on HBO or whatever it's on.
Movies on TV do hit different.
Right. Well, because sometimes I just don't want to be engaged fully. Like, give me that commercial break to go, do my dishes or something like that. I don't know. I don't do
There's certain movies like Armageddon I just enjoy better when it's on TV instead of watching it. And I'll watch it every time.
How do you not?
How do you not watch Armageddon when it's on?
I mean, I'm not saying that. I just find it weird that you like the commercial version better than the non-commercial.
It's just one of those movies like JT said though. Like sometimes, like I get into it, but I'm also like not into it, and I can walk away and go do something because there are commercial breaks. It just seems like it's less of a commitment.
Armageddon versus Deep Impact guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Deep Impact was like Deep Impact is way more serious.
Yeah, but
Armageddon,
they get away on a
send Bruce
motorcycle.
Willis to space to drill a hole and blow up an asteroid.
Yeah, but they
Deep
get away
Impact
on a
is like we're all
motorcycle.
dying. Like Deep Impact is like real world. Armageddon is like fantasy.
It's weird that this whole thing is turned into just to a movie review podcast.
It's better reviewing it than just naming off movies.
Yeah.
For like 15 minutes that one morning.
I mean, that was fun.
You guys were like naming off Kevin Costner movies or something.
It was Leo DiCaprio.
Was it? Okay.
But let's start naming off Kevin. No, I'm just kidding.
No, please don't.
Dances with
He was in a movie that I just watched called Molly's Game, which is pretty good.
Who? Leonardo DiCaprio or Kevin
Costner, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's only got a very minor role in it. What's funny is like my wife likes Kevin Costner and this like British dude that I don't know his name. He's in
Hubert
Bridesmaid.
Cumberdale.
Not Hubert Cumberdale. He tastes like soot and poo.
No, who's the guy that plays Doctor Strange? Was that not his name?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
That was close.
I actually agree with you. It is. I mean,
You look like
can
you knew what
yeah.
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That's how I knew you were talking about.
Yeah.
No, the dude that's in Bridesmaids, that British guy.
I don't know.
Anyway, she likes those. No, she likes those two actors. And literally, as she comes in, I'm finishing this like 2-hour movie. They're not in the movie at all, except for the last like 10 minutes of this movie. And she's like, "Oh, I would have liked this." I'm like, "No, they're not really in the
Restart
movie."
it.
Yeah. Like I promise you, they're not in the movie like that. Like they just happen to show up right at the end as you walk in. So like that's not the movie.
You watched
Anyway.
2 hours to see that little bit at the end.
Right. That's basically what it is. It's a good movie though, based on a true story about like skier, like an Olympic
Sounds
skier
boring already. I'm sorry.
that stops skiing and starts running poker games, private poker games, like high dollar poker games. And Michael Cera plays like an obnoxious Hollywood star, and I was like, Who is he
I can see
playing?
Michael Cera being obnoxious.
It's Tobey Maguire, and it's like very well known that Tobey Maguire was a part of this and is a jerk and like tried to take this chick's games away, or did take this chick's games away from her.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I went down this rabbit hole of like why everyone thinks Tobey Maguire is a jerk, and it was amazing. So Tobey Maguire apparently is a jerk,
Some
and he's
people
cheap,
shouldn't have
bad
the internet.
tipper, supposedly.
Bad tipper.
That's what they say.
That's a very scathing thing to say about someone.
Yeah, and it's one of those like, how do you
come back
prove
from
it?
that?
No. How do you prove it?
Yeah, but how do you also come back from that?
You just got to tip more. But no one cares after that.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Like you become like the best tipper, and people will be like, "Yeah, that guy's a bad tipper."
when I'm in like sit down service, I'm like 25 to 30%. But one time, like 3 years ago, I asked people what they do on takeout, and it turned into this like huge. I posted on Facebook. It turned into this huge conversation.
10%.
Right. So some people said 10%. Right. Then some people were like, got on their high horse and were like, just make their day and give them 30%. I'm like, I got a family of 6. Like, I'm not doing 30% on takeout,
That's
whatever. So then I ask
Like they
okay,
do bag it and they like run your card and stuff. Like they are providing.
well, no,
service,
if it's one of the ones where they do a lot of work, but I'm like, so that's what you do at Chinese and pizza? And they're
places?
like, no. And I'm like, well,
where do you draw the line with your
yeah,
takeout?
where do you
Those are
draw
small
the
businesses
line?
too.
Right. I don't know what it is. But so I post this, and then I'm like, I swear people think I'm a bad tipper now. Like, I'm just genuinely trying to find like what is reasonable, for
It's one of those you're never going to get a clear answer.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna go down the rant of like
Yeah.
Uber Eats and all of that now, and I don't want to do that.
We could choose one of these other fine
A
rants.
whole. Well, let's do that, and let's pull RJ up.
They'll finish him. They'll finish him. They're rising up. They're rising up. The Dolphins are here for blood. There's another attack.
Matt
we need to
chooses-
get him out of captivity.
Matt chooses stories that he can make his own obnoxious headlines out of. He doesn't care about the story. He goes, can I make a headline that I'm going to laugh
They'll
at?
finish him is a great headline.
That's a great headline.
Because a dolphin attacked a person, and it's a nod to Mortal Kombat. That's genius.
The guy survived, though, right? It wasn't like a major...
First of all, it's a girl.
Oh, I saw a guy talking about
There
it.
can be female dolphin trainers.
Thank you for that. I
Apparently,
appreciate
she
that.
scratched him, and they think that's what like set him off, and he started like violently like ramming her until like she was able to like swim to the edge and get out. That's how dolphins like attack.
Yeah, we've
sharks in
heard
the
that
wild.
story. Oh.
Well, they stopped giving him LSD, and the dolphins are starting to get a little mad now. But no, like it started like just ramming her constantly.
Sort of, that's right. From the back there.
He gets it. There's just one more thing, but as I was looking at that, the Miami Seaquarium, apparently the USDA had like done an investigation on them last year, and there's like 18 like awful points on their report of like absolute like animal abuse, from like feeding seals rotten fish to dolphins just randomly dying, and like apparently it's just another one of those things where it's like you have all these like animals in captivity and they're just not being cared for, and then of course dolphins are smart, and so you have this thing where it's just like now people are in danger because you're putting them in.
So what'd they do with the dolphin?
Well, they're going to euthanize it probably.
So you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what you do with dolphin. To be honest with you, probably nothing, because Tillicum killed 4 people before they finally did
Oh, I
something.
thought it was 3.
I think it was 4. But like they just kept. They're like he killed his first person. They're like, I just sent him to a different aquarium, and then he killed another person. And I think they might have just did the same thing or just kept him there. It's
Starting to see a pattern here.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I was bringing it up, because it's like there's a pattern here, and it's they're too smart. They're like man evolved. I said it again. Just let go. Let the dolphins be free. We need a new Free Willy. We need to like remind people that we need to be going that route. No.
Yeah, but the whale from Free Willy stayed in captivity and died
Yeah.
in captivity.
It was very
After
sad.
the movie.
Yeah.
But like as like a PR campaign, you can like let people know about that.
Well,
That's why I'm taking it upon myself
Yeah.
to do this.
You guys start a GoFundMe for a studio release of some kind of dolphin.
Johnny said, "Toss the dolphin back in the ocean, move on." Problem solved.
I think the thought process there is like, well, he's got a taste for blood, so he's going to end up killing someone else, and that's blood on our hands.
I think those were like warning shots. Like I don't think the dolphin bit it, but I think it was just like, try me like a free sample again, and I'm gonna bite you.
Why did she scratch him?
I don't know. She's trifling. Probably. Didn't deserve it. I don't know. I don't know how you scratch a dolphin. They're like really smooth. Like, how do you even get a nail on that? Have you felt a dolphin?
Yeah.
They're super slick.
I don't like how you asked me that, though.
I don't know. I don't know if your life hasn't been blessed with, like, swimming with dolphins. Actually, I haven't swam with them, but I've touched them in an aquarium.
I swam with a dolphin.
Have you really?
In Jamaica, yeah.
Wow.
And looking back, it's like, yeah, okay, that's probably not the best way of doing that because they're like...
Totally wild dolphins that they chum up with fish, and they're like, yeah, just...
I mean, I'd be better with that.
Ugh. Oh, I don't even want to hear the story then.
Yeah.
Get out of the water. Here comes that one from the Sequarium.
Yeah.
Here comes Sundance. That's its name.
Sundance?
Yeah. Where do they go in the movie? Send it down to, like, Mexico or something?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh. Yeah. Somewhere South. I don't think it's
turn.
Mexico. I think it's somewhere
they go
in
to South America,
Yeah, somewhere
yeah.
in South America. Speaking of which, I said something the other day, and someone at work goes, "Okay, idiot, there's only 3 countries in North America." And I was like, "Ooh, there's like 26." And they're like, "No." I'm like, yeah. Just do a little Googling before. Just do yourself a favor. Take a pause. Take
They
a
just
beat.
got the big 3.
That's been my thing lately. Take a beat. Okay? Take a beat.
A beat?
A beat. Take a beat.
B-E-A-T.
Google this. B-E-A-T. Google this, and let's go from there. Where's my wife
Take a
texting me
beat.
for the show?
Do you condone this slang? Is that...
No.
Okay.
No. I know what it means. But
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
But you're just not approving of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it.
My wife sent me a text during
Me
the
neither.
show, which she never does. So I'm like, oh, is everything
What's up,
okay? It's her Wordle score.
Jenny, what'd you get? What is it?
I don't know. I'll look at it later.
Oh, okay. I
All
just
right.
wanted to know. That's fine.
RJ, you want to come on up?
Sure.
Cool. RJ, we're so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome,
I really am.
welcome.
It's not just the thing you said.
Were you watching our show on your phone from the couch while it was live?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
I like
still
that.
I'm still doing it.
That's very, like, meta.
Yeah, but I didn't have the volume turned all the way down, so we had a brief moment of weirdness.
Oh, okay.
I handled it right away.
Appreciate that.
You know, you handled it better than we handle it because Jesse usually has the volume on when he shares it, so we're used to it.
Yeah.
Almost every week for the past 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Yep. He
How do you
said
just not
proudly.
automatically have your phone all the way on silent?
So I can hear it in the morning.
Yeah.
So I can hear it. It's awesome.
Eric,
My phone's been on silent since 2011.
I forget it has speakers.
Silent, no vibrate since 2011.
Yeah.
If your video doesn't have captions on it, if I'm watching it on my phone, I
over.
have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very rare.
And then it's a treat when you do watch the videos with sound on.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, this is nice.
It really is nice. I've been getting into these Facebook Reels. I'm just like
Yeah,
super,
so
even
my
more
wife,
than
yeah.
just the TikTok stuff because
Yeah.
they're even shorter.
Right.
And man, the sound on those things incredible.
Yeah.
Some of these people cooking bread,
Oh yeah.
the sound effects unbelievable.
The
Why don't you say about
ASMR.
bread?
Uh-oh.
We have a bread shamer that watches.
Oh yeah, bread shame. Well, because she doesn't
always
want you.
shames me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
You got to make good bread, is what she's saying.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm going to ask you to maybe talk in the microphone. You can move it, yeah.
it's not like ours where we're banging and scratching.
Yeah.
Um,
We want to make sure people...
choose my words a little bit better next time. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we're starting it. Here we are, RJ. We got Weiner Wars coming up. I see this beautiful shirt that you're wearing.
I have two. I've got my Wiener. Well, it's just a Wiener shirt.
Just happens to be a Weiner shirt.
But also, wait for it.
Oh,
my gosh.
yes.
That's the happiest looking hot dog.
Yeah, this is from a friend who found it at a Buc-ee's, I think.
Oh, really?
Found it at a Buc-ee's.
The
Great
gas
design.
station.
But months ago, before Weiner Wars was really even a thing. So I just have a bunch of hot dog related paraphernalia at home. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Don't we?
Yeah, I'm really. Weiner Wars has been at least partially about me navigating the double entendre all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think that might be some of the fun of it, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
And
so.
aren't you judging this?
I'm not, but I
You're
am
not.
the master of ceremonies.
Oh, okay.
I am the master of ceremonies at Weiner Wars. Our judges currently are Mayor Kent Gwynn. We're very excited to have Kent with us, and Amy Stone.
Sorry.
Just gonna power through.
Sorry. Please.
Yep.
Continue.
Amy
That's awesome.
Stone, amazing.
Who's okay?
A veterinarian in town,
Awesome.
absolutely incredible. And then Rashad.
Nice.
Is going to be joining us as well. So we have the People's Choice Award happening.
Okay.
So people who come to the event, they get to choose sort of who they think.
vote.
Exactly.
Awesome.
But then we also have distinguished judges.
So can we get a recap on Weiner Wars again?
Sure.
So it's 420 April 20th, next Wednesday.
Wednesday, April 20th at the Ocala Downtown Market from 6 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m.
Oh, it's centrally located at the downtown
at
market.
the downtown market.
Oh,
I
man,
thought it was going
that's-
to be like a bar crawl for some reason.
Yeah.
Nope.
That
Yep,
makes
it's
it much
all,
easier.
It's all happening in one place. Absolutely.
Good. Yeah, because, often when you do have to go to different places,
Sure.
you just end up staying at the place that you like, typically.
Sure.
And so it's good that it's going to be centrally located. So
Yeah.
from 6 to 9 next Wednesday.
It is a ticketed event, though, so everyone listening, you need to get your tickets now. That way you can make sure you can attend.
That's right.
So tickets are $25,
That's right.
and they benefit the Marion Literacy Council
The Marion Literacy Council and the Ocala Outreach Foundation.
and the Ocala Outreach Foundation.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Something that Jesse's been talking about for a while. So excited this is put together. You're MC, which is pretty exciting. Definitely cool to know that it's centrally located. I'm sure it's hard to name off all of the places that are going to be involved.
Oh, it's a lot.
I know it's like 12, right?
Yeah.
They're 11.
11.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
11. They're 11. Do we want to give it a try, Jesse? I think we've got Mutiny.
Mutiny.
We've got Big Hammock Brewery and Bites.
Nice.
We have the Charlie Horse.
Nice.
We have the Keep Downtown.
Okay.
We have Bank Street.
Oh.
We have Cantina. We have District Bar and Kitchen.
Oh, who's not
so
open
they're
yet?
actually,
Very exciting.
they're actually
Good for them for already getting
jump
involved
on
in
it.
the downtown
supporting the
stuff.
community
Yeah,
before
very
their
cool.
physical space is
great.
there, which is really cool.
Lodge,
The Lodge,
The Lodge. If only we had
Black Sheep,
Black Sheep on Broadway,
We got,
Vino,
Morvino.
ooh, more vino.
and Katia.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful job.
What a
Gotcha
mix.
Vineyards.
Yeah. That's definitely
So,
a huge mix.
We're expecting some really fun, playful, creative stuff.
That's very cool.
I was gonna say, I think it's cool that we have a hot dog competition where people are gonna have the standardized hot dog and then dress it up. So just the fact that we have the event is awesome. But I also like that there's just a couple of places downtown that just always have hot dogs on the menu.
That's right.
And I think that might have been what spurred some of it. But I'm super excited. I'm gonna try and make it out. Might have to bring the kid with me.
Yeah, and these events, I think, King of the Wing, very established
Yeah.
event. Chili Cook-Off, very established event. I think there's one other one similar to that. So we're kind of excited to
Grow
to
and
kind
build
of
on it.
get in on that energy, and
It's a great name too.
yeah, it's fun.
It's just nice to have that market down there too to be able to squeeze in.
Yeah, and I do want to be clear because we've had a little bit of, there's been some contention around. This is not a hot dog eating contest.
Oh, really?
There have
People
been
are
just a
thinking that?
couple people that are like, this is a very dangerous thing.
I
and this
saw
is
the concern.
Yeah, we've kind of taken a little, there's a little blowback around how dangerous.
Yeah.
So that is not what's happening. I'm sure there will be people who will eat more hot dogs than is
Right.
probably recommended
Me.
by your standard
Yes.
physician. But no, this is a taste. This is a culinary competition.
Yeah, I
They're
That
taster
features
size.
and that's right.
Yeah, they're
That's right.
taster size, and so
I saw some of the concern, and I'm like, I got to do some research. Have
Yeah.
people really died from hot dog eating contests?
Have you when? I'm always surprised when they set a new world record because I'm like, how do you fit that many hot
gosh.
dogs inside someone?
Yeah,
Because they're like 70 something hot dogs.
yeah,
Sure.
that's insane.
And they dip them in water. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
They dip the bread in water because it I guess it compacts
I used
the
to-
bread and it makes it easier to swallow. But it's just
Well,
like
yeah, it softens
so it's
it.
not even good.
Yeah,
Like that's the thing. Like I like hot dogs, so it's just like I could probably eat some hot dogs. I don't think I'd eat 70, but I'm like you're intentionally making it taste worse.
I don't know where I switched in life, but as a kid, I hated bread.
What?
Yeah. And I would always dip all my bread in water or milk
What?
so it could just go down
pigeon?
easier. Yeah. Yeah. I think I've told this story on air before. In third
What a
grade,
disgrace.
we were allowed to, if we got done eating our lunch, we were able to go outside. And so I was like, we all had thermoses back then,
You
filled with
did
milk.
it for necessity.
Yeah, and so I was like, guys, drink half your milk, cram all your food in there, shake it up, and then just drink it, and we can go play. Well, I have an iron stomach.
Food is fuel.
Right, food, yeah, exactly. Just keep going. So I do this, take off outside. These other kids are doing it. First kid pukes, another kid pukes, then they're puking because other people are puking. And so I spent like 2 months sitting on the stage eating by myself because they're like, you incited a puke fest. And I'm like,
the puke because someone else is puking thing is so...
It's a chain reaction.
It's just awesome.
It's a chain reaction.
It's so awesome. Also, before we move on, I just want to say Cheney Brothers is our presenting sponsor for this year.
Oh, awesome.
They're our in-kind sponsor. They've been incredibly generous, very, very supportive of this event.
That's great.
And I put a little... reel on Facebook recently about this and about the Brick City Beer Festival coming up this week. But these third-party fundraisers that other organizations put on to benefit nonprofits, I can't really express how meaningful that is, because for every minute that we as nonprofits are fundraising, we're not delivering service.
Yeah.
So this is just kind of I think I mentioned it to Jesse, but this is the kind of support that we pray for.
sure.
Yeah.
Is other organizations who do that lifting for us. We're hoping to get some good exposure for these downtown restaurants, and happy to have Charlie Horse involved too. So it's good. It's just a feel good type thing.
And it's always great fundraising for, organizations that are so local and absolutely impact our community specifically, our very close knit community.
Right.
And that's always, it's always fun when you do that, because it's like, giving to charity is great, but sometimes you don't know where it's going, where it's happening. But like these specifically, that they're very impactful in our area. So And you did mention the Beer Fest, and that's this weekend.
Yeah, so that's happening. That's right around the corner, the Brick City Beer and Wine Festival, and that's in Citizen Circle.
Yep.
That is the 16th, Saturday the 16th, which is the Saturday before Easter Sunday, or tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're talking
That
like
would
it
be
was
tomorrow.
like a different weekend.
For those of you who think in long time.
Right.
That's the Saturday before Easter Sunday, which is tomorrow. And that event is 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And tickets are still available online. Tickets are available at the door. I recommend you get your tickets prior, just because those lines can get a little bit long.
Yeah.
And again, incredible sponsors. The World Equestrian Center is the presenting sponsor there, but that's always a good event. COVID is kind of, these events are coming out of hibernation a little bit, so they're a little smaller than you may have remembered them, which is actually kind of nice.
Sure, absolutely.
So the Brick City Beer Festival will be a little bit smaller than it was 3 years ago, but that's always fun too, because we have a lot of local breweries involved there.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Well, we were talking before the show. I remember our first beer fests in Ocala, and they were small in a small parking lot, and it was very close knit, and it was a fun event. It's always fun, and they did get really big, and it's fun to see them grow. So I'm excited about it.
And that event benefits the Marion County Literacy Council, Kimberly Center for Child Protection, and Interfaith Emergency Services. So that's a really great place to lift up 3 nonprofits at one time.
Yeah, right.
And as a representative of the Literacy Council, we're so excited to be involved with those 2 big hitter nonprofits. Working with Christina Donahue and Carla Grimsley has been incredible. So we're very, very grateful.
Well, I want to give a shout out to the charity, because it's one of those things that's like, y'all are making it real easy to support local charities. Because you're like, look, just buy a ticket that supports charities, and you get to eat a whole bunch of hot dogs and drink a whole lot of beer.
Yeah.
I'm in. It doesn't get better than that when it comes to fundraising.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty exciting. And David Tillman, if you're out there, David Tillman and Associates, his team is so supportive of this event every year.
That's great.
You just can't do this stuff without a team of people. TJM, incredible. Did our T-shirts for us. You guys have been awesome. So what's really cool about these things always is they just keep showing you what's right.
Sure.
People just in all kinds of different ways come together, collaborate, and lift up these nonprofits. It's really cool.
So I love all the nonprofits. I especially love Marion County Literacy Council because, for selfish reasons, there's so much success for a city and an area and a region tied to literacy.
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers are astonishing.
Yeah.
I used to be able to rattle off a few, but it's been a while since I've drugged that up. I'd love to learn those numbers again because, in case people aren't aware, literacy is absolutely tied to economic success for a city and a region. So what you guys are doing is great. I love seeing your post when you're teaching, binomials and stuff like that, and I go, oh yeah, this is great, and I have to dig in.
It reminds me how much I've forgotten.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, these folks are. GED math is nothing to sneeze at.
Oh,
it's
absolutely not.
the GED is, and I say this to my students all the time. They come in. It's not just 4 years of high school, but it's really middle school and high school in a single test, and it's a good test.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those tests where you guys will remember this. I don't know when the last time you took a standardized test is, hopefully a long time. They give you your problem, and then they give you all of the answers that you could get if you made a mistake, and the correct answer.
Right.
So if you're not paying attention, you're not going to get the right answer, and that means people need to know what they're doing, which is pretty cool. So they take it seriously. Our students are so aspiring, man. I mean, they're in there because they want to make a change, and whether that's learning how to write their name, whether that's getting their GED, whether that's becoming more confident speakers of English, like the folks in that building are like superheroes. Yeah. It's really, really cool the way our services filter for courage.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And is that all, do they have to pay for...
Yeah, so we have a registration fee of $40 a semester or $80 for an entire year of service. And that's one-on-one instruction with a tutor. But if someone can't pay that, they don't pay it. Of course, we would never, ever stop somebody. But we have found that when people have just a little bit of skin in the game, it definitely changes the way they approach the service. And so that helps us be a hand-up organization. And I'll tell you, talk about, break your heart. We had a gentleman come in a couple months ago for basic literacy services, a 60-year-old man. And he had a $50 bill for his $40 registration fee, and instead of taking change, he asked us to keep it and pay it toward the next. That's the kind of thing that goes on. Cool. And you pay too much attention to the news, and you could get a little downtrodden or a little discouraged. And all you have to do, and I don't care if it's my nonprofit or if it's Interfaith or if it's Kimberly's or if it's the Riley Arts Center or if it's Project Hope or, there are so many organizations. I'm newish. 5 years ago, I came to Ocala, got involved in this work 3 years in. We are such a crowded nonprofit space, and that is such good news.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
For Ocala. And the other thing about these nonprofits, I just expected it to be kind of a cutthroat environment. I know you guys are all involved in some of this stuff too. That is not, people are lifting each other up all the time. Working with Carla and Christina has been incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So that's really cool too.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love hearing good stuff about the city like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get involved a little bit and it changes for sure. You see what people are doing. And also you realize I'm not as good of a person as I thought I was, because there are people doing amazing things out there. Yeah. The Pearl Project.
Oh man.
I
another
love
great
those
one.
people. I was just talking about her yesterday, and her name escapes me right now. I'm so sorry.
Joy.
Yes, Joy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is perfect.
Right.
Yep.
And I was saying that I am so envious of her, because she is one of those types of people where no matter who she meets, when she meets them, whatever, everyone's like, she is just so amazing. And I'm like, I will never have that in life, and I envy that so much.
What's the opposite of that? That is you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
He almost got me arrested, he almost got shot, and I got ran over, and...
Yeah. I got ran over.
I ran you over.
You guys are familiar with the Give for Marion campaign that happens. It's an online day of giving, so, at the Literacy Council, we're fairly certain we'll never be sort of the biggest raiser, but we always have an aspiration to have the highest number of unique donors. And we've been able to do that in the past 2 years. Well, last year, this little nonprofit that I hadn't heard of called the Pearl Project was neck and neck with me for 24 hours, and I was like, who are these people? I was kind of annoyed with them, but also delighted.
Yeah.
And then once it all went, we just edged them out. Mm-hmm. And I met Joy randomly, and she's like, I'm with the Pearl Project. And I'm like, I'm with the Literacy Council. And we're both like, but also then we just embraced. And it's been so great. She's doing unbelievable work, trauma-centered approaches toward raising kids, responding to situation. She's doing great stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but I'm glad there are people out there doing that, because we definitely need it. Yeah, little goosebumps there. Yeah. Well, I love it. I love that we do have the ability to drink beer and eat hot dogs and feel good about ourselves.
Baby steps,
Yeah.
Baby steps.
That's right.
That's the least that we can do.
And it's great that we're opening our minds to and experiences to not just the normal fundraising. I'll tell you what I really maybe I don't want to go down that path.
This is the second or third time I like that.
Yeah, it's hard for me when I see a lot of money spent on an event to get very minimal return.
Of
Yeah.
course.
It's very, very frustrating. And I go, you all just felt really important for about 3 hours.
Right.
And we've wasted a lot of money that could have gone to better use.
Right.
So it's very frustrating to see those things. So I'm more of a jeans and hot dog and beer kind of guy.
Yeah.
Where I get to go, cool, minimal investment monetarily,
Yep.
for a lot of return, because we're trying to put on a good, fun event, and we're here for good reasons. So that's just, I'm always going to be that guy. As much as I love champagne, I don't think that it's.
Without community sponsors, though, I mean, we wouldn't have those kind of events.
Absolutely.
Because, all those community sponsors are the ones that are pitching
That's
in.
right.
So, kudos and shout-outs to all the breweries and
That's right.
beer, suppliers and restaurants that are throwing their hat in the ring and providing any resources, to these events.
As a consumer, I can tell you without a doubt, I have visited places that have been at events that I would not have normally gone to.
Yeah.
Or that it's just a little bit further out, so I'm not going to try it. The Dugout is one of them. They were ones that, they did King of the Wing, and I got to have some of their wings, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is good.
Should drive out there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to drive out there and make this a stop every now and then. So I love that. So there are a few places that maybe I haven't been to or I haven't been to enough that I'm like, oh, cool, I'm going to see what they can pull up and do.
And the last thing I'll say on this too, people ask me all the time, how can I help? How can I get involved? And maybe they're in a position where they can't necessarily write a check. And I want to shout this from the rooftop, right? But it's time, talent, and treasure.
Right.
And in a lot of cases, the treasure is we can't do anything with the money unless we have bodies and talent and people who are willing to give their time.
Yeah.
So for folks who are out there feeling like they're not connected to this work or there's a cause, but they feel like they can't necessarily make a donation, if you get in touch with whatever the cause is that moves you, I guarantee you that they're also looking for donations of time and talent.
Absolutely. Without a doubt, that's very, very needed and important.
We do all of our teaching with an all-volunteer teacher corps at the Literacy Council. We can't deliver a moment of service without a member of this community who's willing to invest their time in another person.
That's so awesome.
I can have a bank account. I can have a huge bank account, but I can't deliver service without volunteers.
Sure.
So I think for folks who feel like maybe this world is a little inaccessible to them because they can't write a big check, that is not the case at all. Absolutely.
RJ, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, this is fun, guys.
Beer Fest tomorrow, Weiner Wars this coming Wednesday.
Yeah.
April is the new
What a
October.
week.
Yeah, what a week. Packed with things to do.
And weather's looking beautiful this weekend, by the way.
Absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Show up and support the community, people.
Yeah. And happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Thanks for joining us. Happy Good Friday.